Alright, how's it going everyone? I hope that everyone is doing super duper well. I'm sorry for being a little bit late. Had to make sure everything is ready for the live stream. Took me an extra second. But now we are ready to go. And the goal for today is to do a lot of not LED, but decal. A lot of decal work on the EXS Gundam. I have done all the decals on the parts that I decided to top coat, which are the blue ones, but there's a lot more parts that are like white, black and other colors that are not going to be top coated, and they still need decal work done, although they have already been detailed. Like for example, these thrusters at the back, they are fully detailed. There are some markers, there is also silver lining going on in the center. All of that has already been cleaned up. Yeah, a lot of panel lining on the inside as well, but the decals obviously not here yet, and I'm also not going to be top coating this part. So goal for today is to work on a bunch of those parts. Yeah, why don't we begin then? Let me add a little bit of water to my decal moisturizer. Dump out the rest. Oh yeah, and for today as well, similar to the other day, I do have my alternative camera view set up. Let's see if it's gonna work this time. No, it's not. Oh, okay. Hold on, let me try to fix it. Hey, there we go. Right. So when we have some like other parts to have a look at, you can use that. Anyhow, let's go back to the main view. Right, so I am using the official GRE work photos of their decals as a reference in terms of like where they want you, or rather where they suggest you place the decals. I'm not necessarily trying to replicate them entirely, but I do like their placement of them, so to an extent I am replicating them. Let me just find it. GXS, yeah, so these ones. Pretty good. The decals, I mean, G-Rework decals are always good. So we have already applied everything that I want to apply to the parts that are going to be top coated, so I guess now we're going to kick off with the parts that are not going to be. And might as well start with the thrusters, since they are at the top of my storage pile. Let's get them out of there. Let's get this little vise, my trusty vise, ready. I don't think I'm going to be putting any decals on the thrusters. So what I've done with the thruster veneers, I have actually detailed them a little bit. Basically what I did, I painted these parts with what's it called, Doloha markers, the gold one, and then I used the scriber, my gun primer Grida scriber, to create a bit of separation in those grooves. I think it was a cooler idea in my head. I don't think I've done the best job with it though. If I zoom in, you can see that it's a bit sloppy here and there. I did post some pictures of it in the community post, but you can see that the lines are not, in some cases they are really crisp, but in a few other cases you can see overruns and stuff like that. And also the paint is not extremely even. We'll see, maybe before the final review I will do another coat of paint and another round of cleanups in the grooves. But for now, that's the plan for it, and I also added a little bit of chrome inside as a reflector inside the thrusters. I won't be applying any decals to the thrusters. I think they look fine-ish as they are. So, I believe the flaps, though, of those thrusters, they do need some decals. But yeah, and the parts that I have top coated, they actually turned out pretty well. I did try to compare them to what the parts, like the G-Reworks official build, for example, what they look like. They've painted their blue parts on a slightly different shade of blue. But I think Bandai did a fairly good job with the color plastic molding on these parts. I don't see any swirls with some top coat applied. They look actually pretty decent. Lots of decals here, obviously. I added more than even... So G-Rework usually suggests that you add a lot of decals. And I've added even more than what they suggest normally. So quite decal heavy. But I think it compensates for, lack of surface level detail, because it's an older kit. Obviously, it's not that rich on detail. So I use a combination of original guide from Bandai and G-Rework reference pictures to decide what decals I place where. Let me find my G-Rework decals. Hope you boys are doing fine. Hope everybody's having a good week. Hope everybody's also having a very good weekend. And I'm working on some interesting model kits. Hey, Nuclear Medusa. Doing well. Very nice. Working on any interesting stuff. What have I been up to lately? That's a heavy question. Lots of work. My main job. Lots and lots of stuff to do there lately, which unfortunately impacts my, this work that I do. A little bit late with this kit. This kit has been turning out to be way more work than I anticipated. I thought I would have been done with it by now, but it is what it is. We'll get through it eventually. Granddaddy 3.0. Gotta get that bread indeed, yeah. And sometimes, you know, they sort of remind you that why they pay you the salary. Yeah. I don't know if you have much experience working for like a corporate entity, but they have a tendency to give you some freedom every once in a while, and then they never forget to remind you that you are at their mercy to an extent. Not trying to say that they're doing anything bad, but you know, there's a certain amount of freedom if you're like a contractor or something like that, or if you work for yourself. And sometimes that's more work than working for a company. But the thing is that when you work for a company, you don't get to decide when you're busy and when you're not busy. So, but yeah, it's it's not a problem. It's just, I guess, an excuse that I'm trying to use for my tardiness with this build. I was actually top coating the blue parts earlier this week, and I only had free time like at night, so I was using like a flashlight on the balcony to, you know, top coat these. So that was funny. I was inspecting them earlier today, and actually about like a third of them need another layer of coat because the coat is either uneven or patchy or just too thin. And because I'm doing flat top coat, obviously you need to achieve a good consistent cover. Otherwise you have like these blemishes of reflections. They don't look very nice. You're working on Granddaddy 3.0. Oh man, are you done with that kit? Are you doing anything like custom or special with it? I have an amigo that built it some time ago, and their feedback was that the kit was pretty good, like lots of detail, but at the same time a little bit too much detail, I guess was their sentiment. On the inner frame or something like that. I haven't built it myself. I saw their final result and that looked pretty nice. I've only, out of master grades, Gunplas, I've done only version 2.0 because I'm a big fan of that design. But that one is like super easy build. Yes, the way it goes, indeed it does, yeah. These parts, so these parts are partially painted. With this kit, I'm testing out Dolaha markers. I've bought like a set, well actually a couple of sets of Dolaha markers. And what I'm using them for is to cover up some like gate marks here and there. And, but nothing major, I don't like paint the entire part. And also I use chrome markers to create silver line panel lining in some parts like that. But this is unpainted, you can see like some color swirls here. These are, however, so here I've used Tamiya panel liner, black one, for the panel lining. I've also used my grid, I believe, to make the panel lines a little bit deeper than they usually are. So they hold more ink and it's like thicker panel line. And this is top coated with Mr. Premium Flat. But no paint there. Yeah, well, I live in an apartment, yeah, so like I'm at the mercy of both. I also live on a pretty high floor in my apartment building, so I do top coat or, you know, hairspray, whatever, on the balcony, and I'm at the mercy of winds, weather, stuff like that, and it's been raining quite a lot in Toronto lately, so, and when it rains, or even if it's like before or after the rain when the humidity is too high, you don't want to risk top coating or painting during that time. I made that mistake a couple of years ago with my perfect grade Exia, where I chose to try and do some top coat right before the rain, and that turned out pretty badly. It took a lot of effort to fix that. So, yeah. Guess you know the struggle. You're painting it? Oh, nice. I really like the mechanics. The interior is mostly interconnected, sliders and joints to allow the armor panels to slide and move a bunch. Oh, that's pretty cool. What color scheme are you going with? So that thruster might as well add. We're gonna have decals. I'm gonna have the same decals on the sides as they suggest. I'm probably gonna have the same decals here. I'm gonna also put some decals on the flaps. And on top here. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do anything in the middle. I might. But what am I gonna do in the middle though? I might use these, because I only have 2 of them left. But they might be too large. Let's see. No, I think they will fit. Yeah, markers for panel lining. So I panel line usually with either like Tamiya or Tamiya model washes or steady water-based panel liner. I only panel line with a Corol marker, like these ones, because like the result that you get from that is actually pretty cool. It's a bit of a messy job because every time you apply silver paint, you have to like use a lot of it until it flows and it creates a lot of mess up top, and then you have to use a lot of thinner to clean it up, but the result is actually pretty cool. I think even some time ago I made like a separate video on the channel, something like a silver line, like a pro or something like that. I don't remember what I called it. Because I did a bunch of silver lining when I was doing my Master Grade Extreme Strike Freedom. I think it was last summer. The replacement wing parts that thing comes with required a lot of attention to look not too shit. Because out of the box it looks pretty bad. But yeah, like I'm at the moment exploring Doloha markers. Because recently I made a video, well recently, probably like half a year ago at this stage, I made a video reviewing a bunch of different markers, and a lot of people suggested a lot of other brands and variations that I hadn't tested before. So I have actually a number of like new marker brands and stuff like that that I am planning to use in the next, few builds. Get some hands-on with them, and probably eventually make a follow-up video to that one. Doloha markers so far are pretty good. They have really nice paint coverage, they're pretty easy to apply, they dry flat-ish, but even the metallic ones look nice. However, the paint seems to be extremely fragile and thin, like when compared to, what are they called? DSPIAE, soft tip metallic markers, those have thicker paint. Okay, what other decals are going to apply here? I'm not sure if I'm going to apply any other decals on these thrusters. Let's see. I might apply maybe on top. Right here, maybe a couple. Yeah, maybe the ones like... Because at the bottom I have the ones with things pointing up. Maybe at the top I can have with the things pointing down. Like that. I like to use the scribing bit instead of full chisel. Is the effect good enough just using the pointed scribing stick and not a chisel? Well, I do use chisels sometimes. So, for example, if I deal with a part, let me zoom in. So you can see, this is not like the best example, but this is like the closest I have on hand. So you can see like, there is like a ridge here, right? There is a gap here and there. Well, not a gap, but like a step up. So on older kits, sometimes the gate would be like on a lower level, so it would be very difficult to clean up. So I would use a chisel to kind of scrape this groove to make it a bit more even. Right? But just a little bit, not much. Panel lining though, if you use like something like Grida, so it has a really fine needle. It has some edges to it, but if you like drag it along the groove, it does help you create a deeper groove than originally, and it allows more paint to sit inside, right? It especially is helpful with some parts like, let's see if I have something like in my immediate vicinity that is a better example. Give me 1 second. There we go. So for example here, like you can see that the wing, these grooves are fine, you don't need to do anything with these ones, they hold ink just fine. But these ones, this is not really a groove, this is just an edge of a part. And you can see this looks a bit dirty, like it's not super duper even, it almost looks like some grime inside. And if you don't want to have that look, the only way to do that is through doing like a scribing through it. Speaking from experience, using something like Gun Primer Grida, it's like cheap and easy way to get into it, but it's not the best because the needle is not really that thin. It's actually a pretty thick needle. I would rather recommend investing in something like, let me show you. It's actually a cheaper way to start and a more scalable way to start. So either God hand or, you know, what have you, a little pin vise, handheld pin vise, and get like this is a really basic set, just 2 scribing bits. And they are much better because you can buy a lot of different beads for these, and you can buy like super duper thin ones and stuff like that. I've actually came across today a tool that Steady makes. It's a scribing bit, but it's a hook scriber, which would be like ideal for panel line, you know, improvement. Let me show you. I haven't tried it myself yet. I will probably purchase it at some point soon. But you can see what it looks like. So it's like a hooked blade. So when you scribe a panel line, it actually also pulls out the excess material. And might be like a perfect thing for panel line, you know, creation, I guess. But that's just, you know, something I came across today. I don't have experience with it yet. I'll probably end up buying it anyway and, you know, trying it out, see if it's any good. Let me catch up with the chat. Scribing stick and not chisel. See, I guess it's, you know, chisel when you need a chisel. I don't know if you can open links, but there is a link to the post that finished the torso. I don't think you can paste links in the chat. I don't think YouTube allows that. But if you make a post, community post on this channel, then me and others will be able to see. Hey Ken. Welcome to the stream, man. Yeah, Polar Lizard, I mean, since I, review stuff on the channel, whenever I'm interested in something, even though I buy it at full price, Gunpla actually go above and beyond to make sure that they send it my way as soon as possible. And usually I would get shipments from, I guess, like earliest batch as possible, and it's almost always air freight, and I guess it's in their interest to give me the kit as soon as possible so I can build it as soon as possible, so that, you guys have the information to decide whether you want to buy it or not, stuff like that. If you look at it from that point of view, it should make sense, hopefully. Plus, Gunpla realize how slow of a builder I am, so they know that any extra time they can give me by sending me the kit earlier, it's good for the business, right? Although, as per usual, it's right, when they send me the kit, be that Gunpla or anyone else, it doesn't really matter. If I buy it with my own money, if I get it for free, I give it my own full opinion, so it's the risk they gotta take. If they send it to me early and I review it early and it's still on pre-orders and I give it a lot of flack, then it might not sell as well. That's the way it should be. Should be allowed to say what we think we think. What we think it is, whatever. I like using the steady water-based stuff, but more congealed into some kind of slime, unfortunately. So I just bought Tamiya and started using that instead mostly. Oh yeah, interesting. I haven't had any of my steady water-based pen liners congeal. I've been using them for maybe like a year. If you shake them up, they remain pretty good. I think, not this one, but my black Tamiya has been with me for over a year actually, and so far, pretty good. And obviously there is zero reservations about Tamiya pen liners, they are forever. Do I want to put any decals on the sides like they have? Maybe these ones. Yeah. Oh no, hold on. I have these. I can place these guys. Although they are really small, might not be very visible. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. These are just side thrusters. Alright, so I want these orange guys to be here, the red guys pointing upwards here, big white dudes are gonna go here, this guy's gonna go here, this is gonna go here, this is gonna go here. Not sure where these decals are supposed to go, but I'm sort of inclined to slap it on here. But at the same time, it might end up being invisible, like covered by something else. I'll get to it in a sec. Last month I moved to using lacquer paint, so I'm not more... Well, I'm free with that. Can use the pen line. Alright, nice. I'm not super duper familiar with different types of paints because I don't do like airbrush, you know, top coating. The only painting I do is with brushes and markers and stuff like that. Good to know about the Dolho markers. Yeah, I mean, they have a large color selection. They seem to be pretty nice. So far, I'm still testing them. It'll take a little while to figure out whether they're good or not, and what's good and what's not so good about them. Love using Kaleido Colorworks, metallic markers. Kaleido, isn't that Gallery? I believe Kaleido is Gallery. I might be wrong. I thought they call their markers Kaleido or something like that. If so, then I believe I have those too. These ones. Doesn't say Kaleido, but I believe they usually call their paints Kaleido. Okay, well maybe they have some others, but yeah, if those ones I use them as well. They are part of the review that I posted a little while ago. They're pretty good. I don't mind them. They are very like watery. They like to run around a little bit, but they're pretty sturdy. They have good silver coverage. They also dry a bit shinier than DSPIAE markers, and sometimes that's advantage, sometimes that's disadvantage. Depends on what you're looking for. But they are definitely a good option. I wish they had more colors, more options there. I'm also not the biggest fan of the tips that they use on their markers, because sometimes if it like flicks a little bit, it makes the paint just sprinkle everywhere. It can be a little bit annoying. Like that. Hey Gundam Nut, how's it going? I need to catch up on the chat. Personally, I love using Colorworks, metallic markers, and AK Interactive. Oh yeah, AK Interactive Real Color are also, I really like them. I like their marker tips. I like the color of the paint and the way it dries. Some really bright accent colors they got there. I did include them in the review as well. I use them quite a bit whenever I need to like create a highlight line or something like that. I don't use them to cover entire areas, if you know what I mean. They also have pretty cool brush markers called play markers. I did review those too. I'll give a sharp round chisel try sometime. Yeah, for sure, try different ones. It seems like to me the most sustainable way is just to buy a handheld pin vise and over time acquire and try different chisel bits. Plus the pin vise can always be used as a hand drill too. With that being said, I'm very much a noob when it comes to, you know, custom painting and scribing and stuff like that. The only kind of customization type thing that I have some experience with that I can sort of guide others, I would say, would be the LED modifications. Oh boys, a moment of concentration. To tighten up my vise because I don't like when it turns around freely. A little bit too much motion. For the overview, I think I have that exact hand set. Mostly I use SB chisels, but it requires patience and I struggle with that. That may be for sure. Yeah, it's like with our plan of decals I had to do. Sure, take care. Thank you for dropping by. Those limited kits releasing this year and Q1 of next year. Chinese metal gates are booming as of late, which is a good competition against Bandai. MGSD Kashantria, same. Very much look forward to getting the bell pepper in MGSD scale. I really want to have a small companion for my Osiris. I was actually kind of repositioning my Osiris on the shelf yesterday and rewiring the power for it, and such a beautiful kit, man. It's still like super duper annoying that the LED switches that are built in within the bell peppers are positional, and there is no static mode. There is on, and like really bright, shiny, dynamic going thing. Then there is on and like breathing effect, and off. There is no just like on and static. That is very annoying. And for the main body, the chest and head unit LEDs, the switches are not positional and they don't turn on their own when you know, turn on the power. You have to like click the chin for them to turn on, and then they like do the freaking dynamic effect all the time. Yeah, annoying. kind of limits how you can pause it around if you have it wired to USB power, because that light show gets very old very quickly. Bit too much liquid. Dab it out of there. Put this bad boy in place. There we go. There's a lot of... in terms of amazing kits, I completely agree. There's a lot of like Sky Blazes coming out, Azure Falcon. I saw Zach already has review of that, so kudos to that guy for getting an early sample. I have already paid in full for it on Gunpla, so I'm waiting for them to send it my way, hopefully as soon as they can. Very much look forward to that. Then potentially that Sazanju will be coming out this year. It's not clear though. I think there's also some other cool releases planned. But yeah, for sure there are bangers coming out this year, absolute bangers. And next year, like, third party is booming. So real desperately want to build cool Chinese ones, but I have such a huge set of Bandai kits already because I bought the whole, how great is Ilana of P Bandai stuff at once. Damn. Well, speaking of huge backlogs, we have Gundam Nut in chat. He's got over 1,000 kits in his backlog, so don't feel too bad. I have, I believe, coming up on 150. Yeah, I think it's 150 at this stage kits in the backlog. It's a mix between third party and Bandai. Yeah. That's the thing, well, with Bandai, FOMO is real in some cases, because some Bandai kits, very rarely I guess, be Bandai and stuff like that, would be printed once and done, but the majority of Bandai kits, however rarely, they do get reprinted, right? Even like Mark V Gundam, for example, which is a premium Bandai exclusive master grade, that got a reprint within the last few years. And this year, of course, the CXS Gundam that I'm building right now got reprinted, so it was available at a very reasonable price all over the place. But with third parties, that unfortunately, quite a few releases are one and done. And sometimes even the companies that are there for long haul, like in ERA, they tend to still not reprint their original releases. They just do endless recoloring. And I'm never a fan of that stuff, I'm not gonna lie. To me, it's like if you're a reputable company, like a third-party model kit company, sure, feel free to, you know, make the limited editions, alternate colorways. But the original print of the kit, I think if you're serious about it, you should make sure that it remains available by reprinting it and distributing it. That's how you kind of establish presence, in my view, over a long time. Well, first they have to design cool stuff, right? And it has to be reasonably priced. But in Era arguably is beyond that. Then you have to do that, design and cool stuff and good price, you know, more than once under the same name. They clear that mark as well. Oh my god, what the hell is going on with that decal? I think last week on the live stream you guys told me, and we checked on the live stream, the original lizard, the red lizard in Era, was like 200 bucks, which is insane price. The original price for it was 135 Canadian. Talking Canadian prices here. And I got Polar for like 120, something like that. And a bunch of older in Era kits, like Thunderbolt original color scheme, just simply gone. You might be able to buy them at like crazy price somewhere from a collector who hasn't built it or a reseller. But I don't believe an Era actually reprinted that. And that kit was pretty good. I'm really slow. Tell me about slow. I've been working on this kit for over a month. Slow is my middle name. But you know what? As long as we're having a good time, that is all that matters. Alright, let's try to get you up on the chat again. Grassnet and doing water slides on high grade GQ. What is that kid? I haven't heard about that one. Are you doing the G rework decals on your high grade, the GQ thingy? saw those, some of those, I just call it GQ, I'm not sure entirely what you're supposed to call that new line, new series. But I saw a lot of their high grades went on sale recently. I like their designs, pretty cool. Very... Eva is more like humanoid, but alien-esque designs. I have them in the backlog. I even received my water slide decals for them. I have the main GQ, I have White Gundam, I have Zaku, I have Police Zaku. I have also a bunch of other stuff as well. And the decals for them. With the amount of like high-grade kits that I have in the backlog and decals for them is truly crazy. And I still have not built a single high-grade kit ever. Just keep buying them. What I might end up doing is giving them away. Why are they collecting dust? Well, they can be enjoyed by other builders. So I have all of the Witch from Mercury, all of the Netflix series, this new series. There's a lot of high grades in the storage. Plus decals for them and stuff like that. It's like a topic every live stream. High grade kits. Color metallic markers are not under the Kaleido Colorworks sub-brand. Okay, I understand that Gallery, they call their paints Kaleido, right? Do they have like a separate line of markers under Kaleido, or other markers like Gallery markers are considered Kaleido markers? They offered me to review their airbrushes and their paint line, but because I don't do airbrush, I turned that down. But if there are like other lines of markers that you guys would like me to have a look at from that brand, let me know. I can reach out to them and probably have them send them my way. They've been pretty nice, like to chat with. Most of the companies are pretty nice. I found out when you reach out to them, even if they don't want to collaborate, they still kind of, you know, nice to chat with, nice people. The only like two companies that I've been trying to reach out to for a while, several times, are Steady and DSPIAE. I have no idea how to get in touch with them, but I use a lot of their stuff, and more than once I was trying to kind of find a way to contact them and contacting them, but never hearing back. Use a lot of their tools. I think first time I tried to reach out to DSPIAE to give them feedback on some of the, I don't remember what tool, but it was some tool that I bought from them, and it was not particularly nice, or I had some ideas on how to make it better. I just wanted to share it with them. Oh, yeah. Like that. Now let's place the laser point. So I'm gonna show you the back of my head because this part is too large for me to turn around all the way. Have any balding spots, let me know. I'll be very sad. Okay, let's try to get sharp a little bit more. Good, took a little nap and just woke up. Dude, Saturday? Oh my god, I read it Happy Sunday, I was like, what? Yeah man, Saturday naps are the best. Any day naps are the best, but Saturday's special. I usually try to take a nap before a live stream, just so that I have enough, you know, power for a few hours. But today... Not today. I still feel good, so we'll see. All right. There's a few decals here and there on these parts. I think I'm good with these thrusters for now. I might come back to them later once we've applied all the other decals and I have any spares that need homes. What we can do now is very quickly apply same decal to 4 of these bad boys. I already painted these flaps with the not gallery but Doloha markers black. You can see like how well Doloha marker dries. Let me zoom in. It's really nice paint quality on Doloha markers. It's very subtle, but at the same time you can see that this part is shiny because this is just raw plastic as it came out of the box, but this part is flat. And in the eventual review I'll try to make sure that I show with my macro lens. It's like very velvety, flat, black color. Looks pretty nice. Like, Doloha are pretty nice. I'm definitely glad you guys recommended them to me, so I don't think I would have come across them naturally. Even buying them on AliExpress, it's not straightforward. For some reason they're not available easily in Canada at all, but if you want to buy them on AliExpress, like from individual traders who sell like a variety of weird stuff. Not the kind of, you know, thing I would usually go for. Try to stick to stores with a high rating on AliExpress. Minimize my chances of getting scammed. That was one of the first kits I painted. I never did the decals. Realized for later that I even owned the water slides since I bought some of the G. Oh, nice. Yeah, I believe G Rework also made decals for that kit as well. But those, like that entire line, especially the GQ main kit, the design itself doesn't look like you have to apply water slides to it. Like, seems like it looks really cool even without the decals. And obviously if you did custom paint job on it, I'm sure it looks phenomenal. Go. And the last one. Boom. Okay, thrusters are donezo. I actually chose on the big, like these big guys, not to paint over these gate marks. I did paint over the gate marks on these ridges, because this ridge has a huge gate on it. So I used the same marker, Dollar marker, to cover that up a little bit. It just looked way too bad. But overall, like, if you are someone who paints, and that's something that I very much emphasize in my eventual review, if you're someone who paints, like does full paint jobs on your kits, you can make EXS look so much better. Like, there's always a gap between those who, obviously there are people that do out of the box, nothing wrong with that if that's what you do. Then there are those like me who do minor color corrections and touch-ups and details and stuff like that. And then there are those who do like full paint jobs, and then obviously those who do like complete custom works and stuff like that. So quite often, like on modern kits, there is not huge gap, there's a gap, but it's not super duper huge between those who do like finer touch-ups like myself and full color paint jobs. But for this like older kit, if you do a full paint job, it looks $1,000,000 better than whatever you can do without a full paint job. Simply because it doesn't have any undergating and it draws a lot of attention of those exposed gates, because you cannot really cover them up. You can try sanding them, but that will be also visible because without applying a paint on top of that, you will see the part that was sanded. Let's do these guys now. Got a little anti-static brush. So when you use like the paper towels, everything becomes super duper static. And with my long hair, I get zapped all the time. That affects actually a huge pain in the ass when you try to, you know, do decals or paint something like top coat. Freaking dust is everywhere. It sticks to you. So the anti-static brush is something I didn't even know existed, but pretty nifty tool. Let's see what Rework suggests we put on the front of the chest. So, quite a few decals actually. Yeah, if you ever seen pictures of like Reworks, like their promotional pictures for their model kits, for their decals, they do a lot of scribing on their kits. And you can see, like, if you download high-res versions of their pictures, they scribe the panel lines, like here. Let me see, because I can like give you guys a comparison to kind of further to our earlier conversation. So these panel lines for me look the same, but these ones on theirs, they look more, I don't know, clean, consistent. Like you can see that there's like a clear line as if there is a groove that they filled in with the paint. For example, in I decided not to scribe that, and thus it looks like this. It looks more like grime, which is, you know, if that's something you intend, it's fine, nothing wrong with that. But scribing your panel line grooves is definitely a choice, design choice. And then of course, you can also do a complete custom work and create your entire, like your own panel lines. Anyhow, I digress. Let me cut out a few decals that will go onto the center chesticle piece. So I'm gonna need this, then we are going to need... I'm gonna just go ahead and replicate what they did with theirs. Might add a few extras. Then they want red circles. Then they have red, these guys. And there is with 2 red dots. I don't even see one like that. I'm missing it. This goes onto the sides of that chest. Oh, that is orange. They should be orange dots. Oh, that'll be these guys, I guess. All right. And last but not least would be that. Right on the red would be, I already got it out. Yes, and the one further down would be one of these bad boys. All right. Quickly place them on a moisturizer and then catch up to the chat. Bear with me. Pomeranian water slides, I'm not sure what those are. Still growing on, keep getting about 10 to 15 kits a week. Holy crap, man. I think I've mentioned it to you before, but you can definitely open your own store at this stage, I would argue. $10-15 a week, man. When I get one a week, I'm like, ah, another kit. And I haven't built one this week. Yeah, that's all the decals I want to apply to the chest, for sure. To fix it slightly different there. Buy, not build them. High grades, I'm not sure. I always like look at because the new designs, they come out in high grade scale, right? So I always look at them and I'm like, oh, cool design, I want it. And they're also really cheap, so it's pretty easy to buy them. But because I've been in this hobby for, I think, 3 years. This July was 3 years for this channel and for this hobby, for me. And at this stage, I don't even like want to start doing high grades. I kind of want, but at the same time I don't, because I tend to build rather more complicated kits. That's what I enjoy the most. I really like larger, more intricate kits rather than, you know, simpler, faster builds. It's just something that it seems like I gravitate to that naturally. But you probably are asking the question that I guess psychotherapists would ask: why do you keep buying stuff that you don't have any use for? And the answer would be, I have no idea. I just keep doing that. So what I'm thinking about now is, how do I leverage the fact that I have a lot of those kits, regardless. The latest idea I've come up with is to start giving them away on the channel on a regular basis. Lots of people like high grades. I'm just not a fan of something sitting in storage forever, not seeing the light of day, not being appreciated. I didn't buy them to resell them. Hear about that. I want to apply this tiny decal to the top of the black bar. This goes there, and then I will apply that decal there. Is it centered? I don't think it's perfectly centered. A little bit to the right. Oh. Take your fingers. Oh, come on. Let me ruler here. It's about 2.5 millimeters. A little bit to the left. Not bad. It's a bit shifted as well. After I purchased the full armor ZZ and the FAS, I gained admiration for these bulky square kits. And this one is now on my radar. Will you make a review of this kit? 100%, my amigo! First of all, welcome to the stream. And secondly, for sure, the review will be there. When exactly? I'm not gonna promise to not break that promise. We are almost done with this bad boy. And that video is gonna be big, because I have a lot of things to share about this kit. It's a phenomenal kit, without a doubt, and I was able to acquire it earlier this year because it was reprinted and available at a normal price for some time. But 100%, review will be there, a lot of associated content as well. There's already quite a bit of content on my channel about this kit, because we've been building it over a number of weeks now, a number of live streams, a number of community posts, lots of posts on my Instagram as well with the pictures about this kit. So stay tuned, man. I have some big plans for beauty shots for this kit. I don't think I'll be able to pose it around a lot because it's not the easiest kit to pose around, especially considering that I'm doing some detailing work to it and it's top coated. I don't want to damage any of that stuff. So chances are the beauty shots for this kit in my review video will be more so different light setups, some effects going on and stuff like that, rather than different poses. Excuse me, I know that it has transformation gimmick. However, I'm not gonna lie, I don't care about transformation gimmick for this kit as much. Although I will probably attempt to transform it once. But I'm not gonna make any promises because I did custom LED mode for the eyes and for the sabers, and I'm gonna route those wires inside the model kit. Because I want it to look really seamless. That will limit the articulation options. It will probably make transformation very hard or impossible to be determined. It will also mean that the hands will only be available in saber option, because doing like quick disconnects at that small scale is not something I'm capable of doing. What do they want to the side? It's this chest that actually I need to elevate it a little bit. Yeah, I also have a FAS. I didn't go for the full armor ZZ, the one that came out last year. Instead I went for the FAS. I have that too. Originally I was hoping that I could do both this kit and FAS during this summer, because the goal is to top coat FAS as well. However, given where we stand, I'm not sure whether I'm going to be able to do a FAS this year. I might still go for it. I really like FAS design. And I believe FAS is also a bit more modern than this one, so I would imagine it has undergating going on. Because the main thing about this kit, like, there's a lot of good stuff about it, a lot. like EXS is phenomenal. But the main thing you will notice when you build it is that it's from the times before undergating existed. So there is no undergating here at all. Every single gate is exposed. And unless you paint, like fully paint your kits, hiding them completely is probably impossible. You can try to cover them up like I'm doing with a little bit of paint marker, a decal here and there, but ultimately these are, you know, see these gate marks, aren't gonna go anywhere. Try to level them a little bit and stuff like that. But if I sand this part, I'm gonna have to sand this entire part and you'll be able to see it very well. With that being said, the design is still so freaking cool that it is still worth it. I have no idea how much it goes for on resale market, like these days. I would imagine it's quite a bit higher than MSRP, and since it was recently reprinted, it might take a little while until Bandai reprints it again. But they most likely will, so I would just give it time. And they're pretty good at reprinting their stuff eventually. As someone who's been in the hobby for not that long, I've made my fair share of mistakes of buying kits on resale markets at crazy prices only for them to be reprinted within like a year or two after me buying them and looking like an idiot myself. Old advice. Giving it time. Nice work. Are you in the US? Thank you. I am in Canada, Toronto. Yeah. Hey, Batista, how's it going, man? Having a good week? Hopefully having a good weekend. Working on anything interesting? Then, well, I just finished building BDAC Spa. Oh, you were telling me about it last week. How was the build? I believe last week I mentioned that it was like super large parts for that kit, so supposedly really easy to build. How did I apply them here? So it's kind of leveled like that and that. It's not actually particularly level. I have to keep it that way though. It's just to be. Oh no. Almost. Doesn't fly away. Alright. Tedious, but the payoff was worth it. I now have the Force coin batteries for the LEDs, because they're not included between conventional sizes. Sorry to hear that, my amigo. That was tedious, but as I said, it was worth it. So that's good. That makes it even more enjoyable, hopefully. And makes it a little bit of a extra work to finish the kit. You can also explore custom LED modification options if you fancy. They are achievable even for the kits that come with battery powered LEDs out of the box. As I believe I demonstrated with Osiris. And that's customization, so not everybody fancies that. Hey, that will give you an option to have those lights shining for a good while. Over 100 kits, holy. First time decals, yeah, how did it go? Did you enjoy the experience? I know the decals is not for everyone. Some people hate doing them. Some are neutral, some enjoy them. Some create their own. I don't mind it, I like decals. It's a bit of a boring process to watch, I guess, from the sidelines. But at the same time, it's kind of repetitive, concentrated work that I find to be quite therapeutic. Like if you want to think about some stuff or listen to an audiobook, let the hours fly by. Doing word decals is quite satisfying that way. And I think there are a couple more decals. Yes, these are orange dot fellas. They go right here. Now what, Hunter, if you want to really dip your toes into decals, like go all the way in, I can recommend buying or building Perfect Grade Unicorn Perfectibility or Sky Defender. Both of them, if you go like all in with them, I believe it's over 1,000 decals on each. It's like the ultimate decal experience. And especially on the Sky Defender, the way they created the guide for the decals is actually really neat. Come on, stupid decal, get in place. But if you do decide to go for like a bandai kit with water decals, I would always caution getting some other companies' decals instead, because bandai decals are not the best. They were actually on a PGU New Gundam. That one comes with water decal, and they were pretty good actually. I remember my Perfect Grade Unicorn Perfectibility, that one also comes with water decals from Bandai, and those were shit. They were not easy to work with. They needed a lot of soak, they also needed a lot of Mr. Mark Setter to stay in place. Alright, we are done with this little chest piece. Few decals here and there, pretty tasteful I would say. Nothing too big. Let's see, when we're done with all decals, if there are any like spares left, we might stick one or two more here. For now, I think we're gonna leave it as this. Let it settle. But man, the best way to practice is just by doing it, man. It's pretty easy. Just if you do water decals, I highly recommend buying something like this like sponge box. It's not a wet palette because this is used as a sponge, not like a paper. I think I have links to that stuff to AliExpress where I buy mine. I think on AliExpress they call them decal moisturizer boxes because it's obviously this popular name for it. But they come like this. Just like a semi-transparent box with a pair of tweezers, generic stuff, and this is the key thing, this sponge. It makes decal work so freaking easy, man. Much easier than like dunking decals and like in water and then sliding them away. You can just do what I do now, like you cut out a bunch of them, you place them around there, and one by one you know, pull them off, place them on the parts, and that's it. And if you ever worry about residue, like when you apply decals, sometimes there's a lot of residue that looks pretty ugly. You just use this, or equivalent, Mark Softer. So what you do is that you grab like a thick Q-tip like this one, you dab it in that solution and you rub it on the part over the decal, and then you rub again with the dry side of the Q-tip, and that's it. And it looks perfectly clean, like you don't see any residue. So I think I even have like a LED guide on my channel. I might have done it like way back, but I still very much use the same approach. I use moisturizer, I use Mark Shutter, Mark Softer. Haven't really changed anything about the way I do decals since I did that video. I think since then I've applied thousands of decals. Yeah, like if you go for like Sky Defender, it is an expensive kit, yeah, but the decals for it are also pretty good quality. And I don't believe they have any decals that are like major difficulty. Because there are some infamous kits like Master Grade High Neo that have gigantic decals. Those are not easy to work with without breaking. Probably I would also recommend staying away from real grade size water decals until you feel more comfortable, because those are very small. Can be annoying if you're not like overly comfortable with the entire process. Okay, but done with that, I think we can switch to the legs now. Yeah, because in here, what do I have here? These are some painted parts. Oh yeah, speaking of, I think I mentioned earlier, so like the Dolaha, they're really nice. Like they dry really well. Like look at this. This is just marker on the bare part. Looks pretty good, right? But just a slight touch and the paint scratches off. So it's not as sturdy, Dolaha marker paints, as Gallery metallics or DSPIAE metallics are much sturdier. Although the paint finishes completely differently from those markers. Let me zoom back out. Still need to practice before the water decal, blah blah. Follow the protocols for water slides, but I tried a new technique using water and a couple of drops of pH neutral soap. That's my marks after. Alright, I've never tried that before, but I've been using mark setter ever since I started in the hobby. This is actually the bottle, the very first mark setter bottle that I've bought. I'm not even halfway through it, and this has well over 10,000 decals applied with it. It has a decal at the bottom. Like, to me, this is the go-to solution. Like, I don't need to look for something else. I have never applied. I have tried applying decals, following a few suggested guides and like methods, like use warm water, dab the decal, apply it, no need to use mark setter. Tried it several times. Every single time the decal would not stick extremely well, or even just fall off straight up. So I'm like, you know what, I don't care. This method works for me, and I'll just keep on using it. Like, you know, keep it simple. At the foot. I think I can move that away. So I'm not gonna use these for now. Although I think at the tip of the gun barrel, I might apply some decals there. Let me check. I'm not sure what they suggest. Nothing. All right. Was it this? No, it's not this part. It's another part. Right. I think I'm gonna do these side armors first. Yeah. Get the dust off of them. Line them up. And give them the same treatment. Yeah, that moisturizer box for water decals, I tell you, like, I found it years ago and never looked back ever since I found this solution. It makes working on the decals so much easier. And faster, because you don't have to cut them out one by one, cut out, apply. You just cut out a whole lot of them, and then apply a lot of them. Okay, so in here, we're gonna need these bad boys. Yep. Oh, come on. Oh, I forgot. Then they want these guys. should have done the tubes that go with the thrusters. Kind of forgot about those. I'll do them later. These guys, yeah, all right. Going further down on the that's better. Oh, those, all right. I can do that. I'm trying to follow the G-Reworks, you know, reference pictures that they post for their decals. Not like exact replica, but like the easiest way to find a place for all of these guys. Obviously they do a bunch of custom work, and it's always suggested that figure out where to place them yourself, but at the same time they do a pretty good job doing that themselves. And quite often, quite a lot of those decals have, you know, sort of like recommended locations that they're almost made for. So I prefer to follow them. And then whatever is left, go ham. Apply a whole lot of them all over the place. Boom. I think last, almost last. Apply any of those to the front? Yes, actually a couple. But not these ones. It can't be these ones. Also front of the leg, like on a thigh, they want these guys. That's a good place for them. This would look actually pretty cool there. So that would be this guy. Right under, I believe, this guy. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Come on. Spring a decal. It's about to run away from me. There we go. Nice. Hey Dale, how's it going? Nice to see you, my man. Haven't seen you in a while. Only glad to build 1/100 scale. Decals are bigger, for sure. All acrylic paint markers. Definitely it's the top coat. I mean, like over them or under them? I'm not sure what the paint the DSPIAE markers are, but they're pretty durable. Like, all markers are going to be pretty fragile. You know, whatever you paint with them, you gotta be careful with those parts. Unless you top coat over that. But just going off of the, I guess, sturdiness of the paint itself, comparing side by side Doloha and DSPIAE without any top coats. Under or over that marker, DSPIAE is a little bit sturdier. Although they have different finishes, both. And ultimately both are quite fragile. But I've detailed with markers many inner frames and many kits, and still worth it, man. Still worth it. Even if you don't top coat them, just handle them with care, they will look pretty nice, and they will survive. Pose incisions, film incisions, you name it. Where did I get the laser polar? That would be Gundam, my amigo. Links in the description. Well, they are my trusted source for third-party kits and figures. How you doing, Del? Haven't seen you in a good minute. All is well, I hope. Working on anything interesting? that. Why don't I move these guys out of the way? That makes everything so much easier. There we go. And that. Boom. Wait, Gunpla, I don't think I've asked you. What are you working on this week? Last week you were working on Exia. You still working on the same kit or something new? In a colada? Yes, I did. I think we even... Crap, I got it a few weeks ago at this stage. We even partially unboxed it on the live stream. Actually, now that you remind me of it, I almost completely forgot about that kit because it went to my storage unit. Yeah, it's a surprisingly actually a small box. I was expecting it to be a super duper large build, because I just got that impression from the original promo pictures. But it's actually a pretty compact build. We did unbox it partially and inspected the runners on a live stream a few weeks ago. I don't remember exactly when, but it should be in the beginning of the live stream. If I remember correctly, the runners actually looked pretty good. Lots of color plastic, like blue and stuff like that, and they looked nice. So, I've seen a lot of people already build it, and looks pretty good in those builds. So, seems like it's a good kit. You gonna build it yourself? maybe it will be your first official... Well, what do you mean? I'm not sure. What are you talking about? My first official 1144 build? I've done real grades on the channel. Done a bunch of real grades. And technically those SNAA smaller kits, they are also 144, right? So that wouldn't be the first, I believe. In about a few years. I'll see how soon I can build it. So supposedly, probably is gonna be a pretty easy build. You know, it's a modern kit. From what I remember, a lot of other gating, as you would expect. So that usually means, you know, easier build. It's definitely no, I have no plans to top coat it or anything like that, so I don't need to rush to build it during summer. I like the 5-star stories vibes that Collada gives. I think it's a really nice design. But now that I have Lizard on my hands, potentially Collada is gonna get pushed back even further away. Just Lizard is my one of my all-time favorites. I would really like to build Polar as soon as possible. Partially out of curiosity to see whether they changed anything about it other than the color scheme, which I expect them not to. Partially because it would be really cool to film Polar Lizard in combination with the original Lizard, you know, like do duo pose and stuff like that. I haven't done that before. I've done more than one kit and one review prior, but they would be like just separate sections of the review. Or my yearly review videos. They just have a bunch of stuff on the picture, but that stuff does not necessarily interact with each other. But having two lizards can be like, you know, fire and ice type of theme. I'm quite excited to try that out. My AOK Kashacha conversion kit has been sold. I sold it through, with the support of Gundam, it was taken off my hands. So it's not collecting dust, but it's with a, I would imagine with somebody who knows what to do with it. Yeah, so far my plan for Lizard is most likely very straightforward build, because on the original Lizard, I've jazzed up the entire inner frame quite extensively. I've done a lot of marker work on that one. Panel lined the inner frame, did a lot of detailing on different pipes and stuff like that. I'm debating whether I'm gonna do it with a Polar, because a lot of that stuff is not visible ultimately once the kit is built. Instead, I might just strive for a faster build turnaround. Obviously still gonna do decals and detailing for whatever is visible once it is assembled. I might not do what I did with the original Lizard's chain belts, because the armor chains, the longest things that go from the Gatling guns to the backpack, those took a lot of time to pretty up. So all the like repetitive parts that I ended up sanding, panel lining, cleaning up. I might not do that again, but I definitely will be panel lining this kit, because like that Polar White armor, the design of Lizard is really cool. There's a lot of like nice lines, beautiful lines, and making them stand out on white plastic would be worth it. So bar some major events happening in my life, most likely next live stream next week, we either will be starting or continuing at that stage Polar build. Lizard Polar, right? Because for the EXS, there is just a couple of days of decal work left. I'll probably spend quite a lot of time on it tomorrow. Just can bar anything happening, EXS will be done by next weekend. Not sure if the review will be done for it by then, but the kit itself definitely should be done. Was it the Canada only sale? I believe, I do not know, they put up their listing for it. Gundam did it all themselves. All I had to do is send it, whoever was the new buyer. Like they've asked the new buyer, I believe, whether they can share their information with me so that I can send them the package. The person said okay, so they just went ahead and told me who to send it to, and that was it. If you saw it listed on Gundam like half a year ago, maybe like even a year ago, because that was quite a while ago. Yeah, I think it was last summer, about-ish. So if the pictures for it were for the red version of the AOK conversion kit, and the pictures were like my usual style on a black cutting mat, like my prior setup, then it was definitely me. But yeah, it was very nice of them to do that, because obviously they didn't have to. It was totally, completely my fault for buying something wrong. But they were very kind in a way that they offered to fully refund me, and the only thing they needed from me was to send it to the new buyer, and they also covered the expenses associated with sending it. So that was, I'm not sure if that's their standard policy or just because they, you know, support my channel. But either way, very nice of them to do that. Because I'm not well versed with resin conversion kits at all, and when I first saw that AOK thing announced on their website, I honestly thought it was just a snap build put together thing. So I bought it with that expectation without doing any research. And when it arrived, I realized that it was a resin conversion kit, and I'm woefully unequipped to deal with that. Why did I cut out so many of these? This was supposed to be on the two. Alright, whatever. The more the merrier. Which version of it do you have, my man? Do you also have that conversion kit for Lizard? Because I believe they had a number of different versions for it, like red, green, pre-painted, not pre-painted. I think there were a number of those. Which one did you go with? Unpainted one, all right. Have you already installed it, or is it still in the planning stage? Say you had the unpainted one, does it mean you got rid of yours as well? Oh, you canceled it. Gotcha. Why, if you don't mind me asking? If you do, just, you know, all good, no pressure. Yeah, so the front will be looking down, the back looking up. We can do that too now. Too pricey for what it was. I do believe it was quite a pricey thing. Crap, what was it? It was like, I think it was over 200 Canadian. So it was a premium thing for sure. Are the GK kits not priced that high usually? 182 US, yeah, that sounds about accurate. I don't know much about GK kits, but I saw like there's a couple of stores in Toronto that specialize on high-end, you know, GK kits and stuff like that. They sell bandai stuff, but they also sell, like, very few of them, but some do sell conversion kits. And every time I see them on sale at those stores, they're like hundreds and hundreds of dollars. I assume the price range, I wouldn't say reasonable, I wouldn't go that far, but it seems like they're not cheap by default or on average, GK kits. Or is it that particular kit that turns out to be unreasonably priced? Gotcha, so just not enough value for that particular kit. Well, thank you for sharing that information, my man. Sun Ming Wolfgang. I'm not sure I'm familiar with that one, man. I've had that thing with Gundam before because when I just started in this hobby, when I discovered Gundam, because I've been their customer, you know, way before they decided to support the channel. When I first discovered their site, I was like placing POs left, right, and center. Not so much lately. I believe they also over time they changed their policy a little bit because if my memory serves me well, when I just started using their store at the very beginning, a lot of pre-orders, you could cancel them, get your points back, easy as, no fuss. There were some listings that were saying this, you know, pre-order is not, deposit is not refundable, something like that. But not many. You can see a lot more of that as of late, like non-refundable deposit listings. I guess that is that difference, but that's just my observation. I don't have like, you know, hard data or anything like that to prove that. So I'm not gonna apply any decals here. Might as well use this part to hold it. Look, I'm actually gonna try to gauge you because I don't watch reviews for the kits until so if I plan to build a kit, I don't watch reviews of it before, you know, I build it, so that I can, you know, give it a genuine opinion, and then I catch up on the reviews from others. If you happen to have seen Zaco Aurelius's review or early unboxing of the Azure Falcon from Inira, what is your take on it? Like, you still hyped about the kit, or any like major disappointments? Maybe I shouldn't even ask, because I'm trying to keep my opinion unaffected. You know what? Scratch that. Don't wanna be like that. Don't wanna know their opinion. I'll just go and watch their video. They do a great job. Don't wanna ask about their video. It's not nice. It's not polite. I have a crap load of pre-orders that are not out. Have been announced for quite a long time. Same. My Skyblaze has been on pre-order, dude, years. Probably over 3 years. It's supposed to be coming out because we've had that video drop in the last, I think it was July, right? Or maybe June, where they dropped that massive video for Skyblaze with big AI boobs and a lot of kit overview detail. So supposedly that's coming soon. I believe it should be Q4 this calendar year. And that thing has been on my pre-order, as I said, like over 3 years probably. I've also had a bunch of because when I discovered Gundam and when I kind of got into this hobby, that's when Heat Boys were first releasing their Mecha Heat series for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So I was really enamored by their figures, mecha figures for the Turtles. And it seems that Heat Boys have abandoned that line, because I believe there was Shredder like a year ago, something like that, but that came like way later than they originally promised. There's still no Krang, even though they've been teasing it for a freaking while. There is still no April, Master Splinter, and pre-orders for them went up also years ago. And I can see that the company, Heat Boys themselves, keep like doing other stuff. I'm not gonna lie, that's a bit annoying. The last page of your pre-order, which one? Mecha Heat or Skyblaze? Skyblaze, yeah, same. My last page of pre-orders is Skyblaze and some Heat Boys stuff. I think it's time to melt this decal, because there is no way we're going to be able to apply it without some meltage. And it looks like Skyblaze is going to be a banger of a kit. Very much looking forward to it. Hopefully it will be a companion for Sky Defender. They're the same scale after all, right? But I don't yet have... I believe Gundam have not even yet requested full payment for it. I'm not sure if I'm gonna get a review sample of it, most likely not. Because I believe it's the same company as in ERA. And kind of not a big enough deal for them. But if I check Skyblaze, yeah, still nothing. Still nothing. I also have next to Skyblaze, I don't know if you have that, but there was a Monster Industries Unicorn Godzilla kit on Gundam also years ago. And that hadn't received updates in years as well. But that pre-order is side by side with my Skyblaze. To understand their update page. Yeah, not sure, man. You can ask them, if they can explain. I only kind of check their like main page, whatever new comes up. I try to be diligent with checking a couple times a week. You know, all I have time for. And whenever I place an order, I'm reminded to check all of your guys' support. You're gonna have to open your account and open like a specific page to see that people have used your reviewer code to buy stuff. It doesn't tell you who and what they bought most of the time, but cool to see that. I wish that code though benefited like both sides. I mentioned it before because it's really cool that when you guys use my reviewer code it supports the channel and stuff like that. I think it would have been better if it was split between the user and the reviewer. But like for them it's the same impact. They don't have to give more free stuff, but would have been fairer in my view. It's their business, they do what they want. You have over 1,000 kids, my man, you can open your own business. Boutique shop by Gundam Not. Of course, yeah, let me do that. I will do that after. Your reviews were on Gundam or? Or elsewhere. Yeah, let me know. 100%, man. Is your nickname out there also Gundam Nut? Oh. content not. All right, man. Yeah, I'll look it up today. Can you tell me which kits have you posted reviews for? I'll definitely check it out. And my apologies that I haven't done that yet. Just visit the site to either buy something or post a review, like when I post a video, and don't really browse it much. But if you tell me what kits you left reviews for, I'll definitely look you up, man, for sure. Kits, figures, whatever's. This King Reborn Voltron. You know what? I'm gonna look it up actually on my phone a little bit far after the live stream. Oh yeah, dude. Of course. Supporting the Amigo is always. I'm always glad to do that. Reborn Voltron. Let's look that up. I could type Voltron. Damn, that's a fancy figure. Yeah, because I don't collect Transformers, I would not have come across your comment there. Oh, I see it. Alright, man. Well. Wow, that's a huge figure, dude. How tall is that guy? Holy crap. It looks gigantic. There you go. Catch that. 15 inches. That's actually pretty massive. I have a ruler next to me, and that's 12. That's like my forearm length. Yeah, I think I've seen like a couple of reviews of Transformer figures like years ago. I think by Joby the Hong. Yeah, that's the guy. Yeah. Had a very interesting style to his videos. But the transformation on those things was insane. I think the one I've seen, it was like a big blob that was transforming into full-on thing. The engineering that must go into that stuff is insane. Whatever company designs that, the people that design that stuff, dude, big brain stuff. The only Transformer I have experience with is the It Boys' own Mechatran, because they have a Mecha Heat. Those are like figures, mecha figures, on the TMNT theme, right? But they also some time ago they announced Transformer mechas, and I believe the first one they did was Donatello, and it was supposed to be transforming between a minivan and a Donatello mech. That was like coincidentally my first transforming figure ever. That thing was so shit. I was unbelievably disappointed. It was so difficult to handle as well, and then it turned out that it was just bad. Like, Heat Boys really messed it up with that one. It's a heavy beast. Oh. Does it transform as well, like into... Does it have like one of those super duper involved transformations? line mode, nice. Yeah, that's what impressed me about those Transformer figures. Not only are they like really cool looking and massive and look cool as Transformers, but like full-on transformation into something else entirely. It's like if you're not familiar with the hobby and when you first time see it, you're like, holy crap, people can do that stuff. Because I guess it's easy to get used to, but you know, when it's new, it is truly amazing the level of engineering that goes into that. Oh, nice, even functional. This is single-handedly the longest decal on this kit. It's the amount of time it takes to kind of melt it. Like do and redo, do and redo, do and redo. It is getting there. But because the part is curved and the decal is not, it takes a lot of time. I also don't like leaving marks after on the decal, like too much of it for too long, if, you know, in fear of dissolving the decal. So are you still working on the Exia kind of nut, or have you moved on to something else? Okay, I think I'm done with this part. Yay! Well, this decal, not the part. The part itself might still need a little bit of attention, or not. Make sure we don't leave anything behind there. Oh, nice. Going all the way, my man. I think before you joined, I was discussing with another person in chat. I don't remember their name. My apologies. But because for this kit, I did do some scribing here and there. Like, for example, even on these thrusters, even though the lines are like good enough for pin aligning, I did scribe them just a little bit to give them more depth so they can hold more ink in them. But also on this kit, what I did, I scribed pen lines. If I can find them, here we go. Scribe pen lines on the edges like this. So like there is no panel line here by default. There's just like an angle. And some of it worked, some of it didn't really work. Like I wanna get into more scribing. Probably not custom scribes entirely, but scribing, you know, lines that I would like to panel line, and they're not like deep enough or defined enough to hold the panel liner cleanly. So what do you use to scribe stuff? Because I've tried this gun primer Grida, and this seems to have, the needle is a bit too rough and too thick as well. I also have a few. Hey dude. I also have a few God Hand scriber needles. Those seem to be better, but I also came across earlier today this stuff from Steady. This. They have, so like a scriber handle generic stuff, but these scribing blades, they're actually hooks. So they not only scribe in the panel line, but they also pull out the material. Have you tried that? Does it work? What's your like preferred scribing tool? What would you recommend one to use for scribing? What's up, my man? How's it going? Welcome to the stream. Oh, sorry. I'll be back in a sec. And I'm back. Sorry for that, boys. Got a call from my building security. FBI knocking on my doors. Let's see if I got shit to hide, I guess. .05 from G's, I like to use 1 G's. 5. So are you using those like hooked scribers, or just straight up needles or chisels? If you give me like any names or brand names or model names, I'll look it up. So I'm trying to find kind of what's the most suitable tool for scribing panel lines. Chisel design is more controllable for me. Okay, good to know, man. Good to know. So, chisels then. Not needles either, right? Like the rounded needles are not good as well for control. Look into that. I'll probably buy a few God hand chisels. I have a lot of them, and I have a few God hand pin vise handles. I do have a few God hand chisels as well, I think. Let me check. Yeah, I have like a set of bigger ones, 1.1 to 1.4 mil, so I guess that would be a little bit too much. Need to buy smaller ones. But I also have these. I tried this one on, this is RNK, I'm not sure what RN stands for, I have to Google that. But I tried this needle as a scriber. That was pretty good actually, really fine groove with it. Almost too fine, almost. But I also finally found this, because I've been looking for these for a while. I saw them at an expo. These are like super duper nifty things. These are like drills, but they are like, I think they call them technically a rim sharpener or something like that. But basically if you create thrusters or you want to widen thrusters, or if you create holes for wires and LEDs, these are amazing for that. I wish they had smaller versions of these, but these are the only two I was able to find so far. I tried them out in person like half a year ago when I visited the expo, and they had them for like preview at the God Hand booth. Pretty good stuff. Dentist bit, yeah, maybe like a dentist for dinosaur, yeah. A bit too large for humans, I would say. But like if they made those balls, rim sharpeners, the size that dentists have them, that would be money. Especially for like custom LED work. Extra money. You know, like, because whenever I see like, you know, whenever I try to follow guides from G Rework for their decals, every time I get reminded that if you scribe every panel line, like not panel line like this, but panel line like this one, it can look so much cleaner on the photo. Intentionally, you might choose to make it look a bit dirtier to give it that rugged look. Just having the ability and the skill to do both is something I would like to work on. Appreciate the advice for sure. We'll look into the chisels. The ones I have right now are a bit too large. I'm sure God Hand should have much smaller chisels. DSPIAE chisels. Yeah, I'll see. Not necessarily on the budget. I just prefer quality tools. I don't mind paying for them if the price seems reasonable. It's just sometimes things are unreasonably priced, arguably. I'll definitely do some research based on your feedback. Because I came across these steady hook chisels, well, hook scribers earlier today. I saw on Instagram or maybe TikTok, you know, one of the like promotional videos that make them look like the best thing ever. That got me quite excited. I haven't purchased any of them yet. And now hearing your feedback, very, very useful. I might instead just buy more bits for my gut hand pin vise and try that first. So all I want to be able to do for now is just create clean, thin, deep-ish panel lines. That's it. Like I don't want to, you know, create brand new grooves or do custom scribing as if like, you know, when you create new detail entirely. Don't want to do that quite yet. At some point in the future, probably. But for now, let's not go. Got two matte works, they're very good but very fragile. You do not dare. Matte works, I have heard about them before. I don't know anything about them, but I have heard that brand name. I'll look into that as well. So this goes there. Pricey? How much is a single chisel? You said I have a couple. Do they like sell them in sets or individual chisels? Which ones do you have and how much did you pay for them? Or I guess what's the market price? .5 and .25. That's not too bad. see where they are. They're available anywhere in Canada. See if I can grab them, and if not, I'll see where I can buy them from. If you say Madworks are good, and they sell them individually, I might just buy 2 or 3 different sizes for different scales, right? Something for master grade-ish scale, something for PG/172-ish scale, and something for like a smaller real grade scale. Let's start with one, see how I like it, and then expand the selection if I like it. That will be the smartest way to do it. Right, done with these things. Now we can do the legs. I'm not sure if we're gonna do both legs today. It's gonna take a minute. I think at the very least we might do one side of one leg, maybe even both sides of one leg. That lack of nap is starting to let me know. Already yawning a little bit. Go. $7 is definitely considerably cheaper. Where the hell are those? Oh, there we go. Very nice. Then we have to add some details around these parts. The details are this guy on the outside, this guy on the inside. I did get my, yes, the box is the biggest out of them. All right. Belvedere, crap, I forgot which one that is. No, I remember we discussed it last week. Is that Belvedere the one with the axe? Like Warhammer kind of thing? Obviously not Warhammer, you know, 40k design, but you know what I mean, like a giant hammer. Is that the one? I'm gonna do a quick Google. Because that also reminds me that I forgot to place. No, that was Furious. Yeah, the one I wanted to get is the one that white and red. Belvedere, Belvedere, Belvedere. That's Galahad. Go freaking figure, Belvedere. Nothing comes up. All right. Oh, they call it Bedivere rather than Belvedere. Alright. It's supposed to cost 11 bucks. It's crazy good price for that. Yeah, there's no way I would have guessed it's named Bedivere from Belvedere. Don't even know what Bedivere stands for. 41 US. Holy, that is not a cheap kit. It better be a big box, man, for that amount of money. Oh, I see the face sculpt is like lion and the chest is lion. So, interesting design. Seems to be quite pricey on Gundam, not gonna lie. So, MSRP according to Google is 11 bucks USD. Granted, that's just, I guess, would be a local domestic price in China, but 45 bucks is quite a jump. Oh, nice. Does it mean you're gonna build it soon, man? Definitely do that. Post a review, let me know. Oh, God damn it. That was very, very careless of me. Broke off a part of the decal. Ay. Trying to fix it up. In a couple of weeks. Hell yeah, dude. It's definitely a unique design. I would imagine it uses wires to articulate those tails. Is Round Table Knights like a theme, or is it just the name of the line for them? Because it seems like they are a bit of a all over the place with the line, like in a good way. Like there's great amount of variety, different designs and stuff like that. But I wonder if Round Table Knights is just a generic name, like a real grade. Winging it as they go. All right. And nothing wrong with that. As long as they make cool kits with good prices, you know. I believe they're all original designs, so that is extra commendable. I think that it's always, you know, highly appreciated when somebody comes up with a unique design, they implement that and take a chance at that. I'm looking at this SNAA, there is a great variety of designs. Although I'm having some minor reservations about the quality of their inner frames, because I built Giant Axe a little while ago now, and recently that is totally because of me. I dropped it. It dropped off the shelf because I bumped the shelf, and unfortunately it took a plunge. But nothing broke, and as I was trying to put it back in place and pose it this week, it was extremely flimsy, and I'm not sure if it was like that originally. I even checked my video, and it wasn't that bad. I wonder if the inner frame gets weaker over time. That would not be a good sign. Because for my build, I did panel line it, but I did it with a water-based panel liner, so not like panel acrylic stuff like Tamiya that would eat through it over time. So, but it was not very sturdy. It was still poseable, but just didn't give me much confidence. In terms of making a hit, I agree with you. They make really cool designs. I think there is like almost a design for everyone somewhere in that line. There's a great variety of them. I know you mentioned to me last week that they've gone up in price. And previously I would recommend them like anyone who looks for a easier build, third-party build, unique build, or just wanna dip their toes in third-party world. SNAA was my default recommendation for a while. But considering the new prices, I'm not sure. Yeah, when you pause something like, let's say, entire day, or you just play with it a bunch. But I haven't touched my giant axe model kit in like a year. And it fell off the shelf, and I was trying to pause it back, and it was not giving me much confidence. Granted, maybe I simply damaged it, so like I'm just kind of sharing it as a thinking process. I'm not saying that it's confirmed S&W kits get shit over time. Just an observation for the past week. I also have their Firelord. That thing has not fallen. As a matter of fact, most of my kits have never fallen. It's an exception rather than the rule. And I believe the Firelord is fine. I need to get it off the shelf and see how it handles. It still is, you know, been alright. I remember originally it was actually, especially with a spear and a shield, the inner frame was quite good to support that stuff. It hasn't sagged on the shelf, and I have posed it in a way where one of its hands is extended with a spear holding, so there's a lot of like strain on the joint, and it's been like that for a while as well. It would be good to kind of take it off the shelf and see how it's going. Alright, that is one side done, and I think honestly I might actually wrap it up at that. It's not gonna be as long of a live stream as I usually do, but I think we're coming up with, oh, we're over 3 hours. That is not too bad, I would say. Got some pretty good work done. So the very last one is the side of this leg. Few details here and there. Then obviously we kicked off the live stream with these super duper mega thrusters. Kind of a few tasteful decals on them here and there, just to give it a little bit of a, you know, mechanical detail. They already are solar lined, touched up with Doloha markers. They're also panel lined, even on the inside there, on the kind of gas tanks. Then we did a chest cover. It's also quite a few decals actually concentrated in one spot here. But I think it adds very nice mechanical detail. It gives it a nice touch. So I added an extra one there to hide the gate mark, because there is a gate mark on this black part right on top. Kind of looks not too cool when you try to film or take a picture of the face. Then we did these guys. These are the flaps of the big thrusters. All four of them. Kind of got the same decal, same treatment. Then we got these bad boys done. These are thigh, not thigh, calf armors, yeah, calves. Also like just a few decals to give it a little bit of a pizzazz. Then on the calves themselves, these decals took a while to apply because it's just a flat decal, not a curved one or anything like that. And this part obviously is curved, so that took a while to melt in place. And then these guys were applied symmetrically to all sides. And on the other leg, I guess that will be right leg on the outside. This is a much smaller decal, so it was much easier to apply. And that, I think, is going to be it for this live stream. Thank you very much for dropping by. Another live stream is in the books. Hopefully this bad boy is gonna be done within the next 1 or 2 days probably. Just a bunch of decals left and some touch-ups on the top coats, which I'm gonna do tomorrow. And then probably the next live stream we either are gonna be building in-era Lizard Polar version, or we might choose to catch up on the Colada model kit, because that one is pretty cool as well. Or if we come up with any other ideas, there's a lot more in the backlog to draw from. So yeah, I think that is going to be it from me today. Thank you very much for joining. Have a great rest of the weekend, and I will see you in the next video.